Good morning, Retro Gamers. I'm Christopher Chrisman of Retro Game Network, and coming up next, a look at last week's retro video game news on the RGN Files for the week ending Saturday, May 19, 2018. In the RGN Files this week, Nintendo has announced an official release date for its newest wave of NES Classic Edition consoles. The NES Classic was first released back in November of 2016 and offered 30 NES titles in an all-in-one plug-and-play console. Despite being a success, selling over 2.3 million units worldwide, the system was discontinued in April of last year, causing it to become a well-sought device amongst gamers and collectors, and often was sold for several times the original amount on internet auction sites. Nintendo has officially stated that a new wave of NES Classics will be hitting store shelves next month and will remain in production until after the holiday season. It is unknown at this time if the new wave of systems will maintain the original specifications, in which hackers were able to tap into the operating system and place entire NES collections onto the system. The console is slated to return to stores on June 29th and will sell for just under $60. In addition, Nintendo of Japan will also be bringing back the Japanese equivalent of the NES Classic, the Famicom Classic, to their native country at the same time. However, in addition to obtaining a new wave of the original Famicom Classic editions, Japanese gamers will also be offered a special edition of the console. Based on the Weekly Shonen Jump series of manga, the new system will feature 20 preloaded games from such series as Kenny-Kuman, Hokuto no Ken, and Dragon Ball Z. The latest addition to the Classic Edition series will feature the same design as the original Famicom Classic, looking like an original Nintendo Famicom, however will feature a new gold and red color scheme. At this time, the new collection is slated to be made available only within Japanese prefectures and is not planned to be released in North America or the European Union. The new product is expected to hit store shelves on July 7th of this year and cost just under 8,000 yen, equal to approximately 73 American dollars. Earlier this month, Retro Game Network reported on the upcoming Neo Geo Mini console that is being released by SNK in celebration of the company's 40th anniversary. A variety of rumors that were going around the internet in regards to the system have officially been confirmed by the company. The console will be a tabletop system that is reminiscent of the arcade cabinetry made popular by SNK in the 80s and the 90s, but it can also be hooked up to a television set for a larger screen output. The built-in display is planned to come in at 3.5 inches alongside of a single-player joystick control, as well as the potential to include ports to plug in additional controllers, which may be modeled on the Neo Geo CD home consoles. While SNK has not yet confirmed the release date, game listing, or price for the system, the company is giving potential buyers an opportunity to send them questions via Twitter to be answered at an online presentation about the product next month. Questions to SNK must be sent via Twitter prior to May 28th. French homebrew video game developer OrionSoft has recently launched a new Kickstarter campaign that would make available a software package for homebrew development. The product, called the Retro Game Designer, would allow those interested in creating their own games to program their ideas for the Sega Genesis, Dreamcast, PlayStation 1, and Atari Jaguar platforms. Not only would gamers be able to make games for a single system, but with the proper pledge would also allow the creations to be ported amongst all of the available platforms. Allowing a hobbyist to create games for a single system for either personal or public domain distribution, which would also include a splash screen at the beginning of the program, would require a €30 pledge for a single system or a €60 pledge for all consoles. Those looking to sell their creations can purchase the professional edition for €300 for a single system or €600 for all platforms. The Kickstarter will need €15,000 to be successful, with the funding period ending on June 30th. A new homebrew title called Trolley Follies was recently released for the Commodore 64 computer platform. The creation of Black Castle Software, Trolley Follies is a game in which you must transport patrons on a train from one station to another, all the while operating switches to ensure that the trains remain on the proper tracks and avoiding any damaged tracks, avoiding any possible collisions with other trains sharing the railway. The new game also offers a level editor for creating your own tracks as well. You can also play other tracks that fellow players have created using an interesting distribution method. Alongside of downloading the user-created levels on the internet for those utilizing emulation methods, they are also obtainable via a dial-up or telnet-based bulletin board, making it easier to load onto actual Commodore hardware. The game is currently available at no cost, and Black Castle Software has shown an interest in creating a complete physical disc-based release in the future. And finally this past Thursday, we at Retro Game Network transmitted our very first official test stream on the Twitch gaming network. While we had thought that the broadcast went on without any problems, upon watching the video uploaded to Twitch, we discovered a major malfunction. As you can tell, we had a problem with our microphone audio, which made the entire broadcast a bust. We will be doing another full-length test stream on Tuesday, May 22nd at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and we will be showcasing RBI Baseball for the Nintendo Entertainment System. You can follow us on Twitch at RetroGameNet. That's it for this week's edition of the RGN Files. This is a reminder that our official radio program, VGM on FM, returns to WRML Radio on Monday, June 4th. And don't forget to check us out on social media outlets, on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Retro Game Network, and on Twitter and Twitch at RetroGameNet. For complete details of any of this week's stories, visit RetroGameNetwork.com. For the RGN Files, I'm Christopher Chrisman. This week's news stories provided by the following: Engadget, Koteiko, Nintendo, Sega Nerds, Silicon Era, TechCrunch, The Verge, Vintage is the New Old.